So I've got a 7-iron here, but if I want to hit this shot really quite low, this white shaft here, it just represents, we call that the centre of the swing. That's where the club wants to bottom out, all things being equal. It's because it's where the shoulder and the left arm line up. Yeah. So anytime the ball's back of that, I'm going to be hitting a certain amount down the ball. Some of you that have been on flight scope and TrackMan, we've probably heard the word or the term angle of attack. That is basically that idea. So the further, potentially, the further I move the ball back, the more down or the steeper the angle of attack.
And that would be what they call compression as well?
Correct. Yep. When we tend to move the ball more forward, such as drivers, when the ball's teed up, that tends to get us level or hitting up. There's a lot of other factors, where my body position is, etc. But that would be a good simple way to think about it. So if I did this, if I had the ball pull this centre 0, and I'm just going to move the ball, let's say 3 balls back. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This yellow shaft here also represents the path or the swing direction. If you guys are familiar, this would be coming more from the inside. This would be swinging more left or across as a basic rule. So if I had to hit, say, a low draw, I'm going to move the ball back as far as reasonably possible. We'll just say back on the arc, it's about sort of 4 or 5, because that's going to make the path go to the inside a certain amount. Yeah. As I move my hands forward, that also promotes a lower type of shot. So if I wanted to hit, say, a low draw, I'll move it out the way so I don't create a mess. I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to have the face closed in a certain amount. Yeah. That's going to make the ball start a certain amount left, depending on where the path is. And I'm going to move the ball back. And the last thing I might even do is lean my weight forward. Okay, so that's going to produce the lowest type of a draw shot. Okay. If I did the opposite, if I put the ball all the way up here and I open the face a certain amount, there's literally no way I can get to the inside of that ball. I have to kind of jump forward there. So this type of setup's programming a big high cut, just because everything's going to go this way. So that's the shortest instructional I'm going to give you on curve and trajectory. Now the cool thing is, some of you set up a little too much with the ball forward and the face open, and that's somewhat a product of the grip as well. So when I kind of guide you in a certain period of time, I'm just going to show you how you can set up to change the curve. Sometimes when I teach, I'll tell a student, I'm not going to change what you do, I'm going to show you or teach you a new shot. And I'll show them that, because if I said you slice the ball and you've got a weak grip, I don't like that. Come on, twist your grip around here, move the ball back, do all this sort of stuff. At some point you're going to freak out. Now you might do it purely because, well, that Stephen guy, he flew 5.5 hours and he hasn't had much sleep, and I'm going to humour him and I'm going to do it because I think he's a really good guy. But you also might go, this is like, I didn't think I signed up for this, right? If I say to you, I'm going to teach you a new shot. You could probably use it at some point. Right now you're hitting like a high cut. This is how you set up to hit a low draw. We're going to move the ball back on the arc. We're going to have the face turned in a little bit, and we're going to maybe do one other thing. When you hit that, you go, shit, I didn't know how to do that. And then I might just say, okay, maybe just go practice that and then use your old setup. And at some point you might say, I kind of like that. I might do that. My ball's going further, it's coming out lower, it's stronger, or it's a good shot to have into the wind. So there's ways that I feel like we could just teach you something new that we could sometimes use. Now I would sometimes do that to a student and then just tell them, And you just keep doing that if you're okay with it. And they kind of just they buy into that and they do it anyway. So
If you are teaching,
what's that?
if you are teaching, eh?
Yeah, so it's I guess it's more of the learning model than just the flat out telling you model. Yeah. Now I've been in Asia for 6 years now. Sometimes you just have to tell them. It's just, they just want to. They just come to you like, I'm shit, I'm struggling. Just tell me. So that's also fine. I can do that as well. But I think it's good along the way to understand, because then you've got the option to do it. Yeah, it's a bit like a short game shot. If anyone's had a short game lesson, any short game shot you play right now, or if you come to me for a short game lesson and you're hitting a chip shot, and it's just, the green's just here and you're kind of chipping like this, and the ball's popping up pretty high, maybe using a lob wedge, and it's landing and it's running, and sometimes you get a little thin, and I might say to you, that's a good shot, but you probably don't need to use that all the time in this situation. Now this is also a shot that you can play from off the green. Okay, it's 52, it's coming out a little bit lower, it's running, there's a bit more control about it. So we don't ever tell you not to ever use that other shot. Maybe we just understand when's the best time to use it. So I think that kind of empowers you quite a bit, because you know, like, when's this going to work, and maybe, okay, I've also got a new tool that I can use when I'm out in golf course. A new way of doing it. So that's a little bit about contact and curve. For the ones that are hitting too far behind the ball,